Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video.
What if Goku was born with Evolutionary Ki? Now what is Evolutionary Ki? Well, it's an idea that somebody threw out there, as they put down in the vote comment section down below, is this is the key that Vegeta used to be able to push his Super Saiyan Blue to new limits, and he was able to use Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. He was able to evolve his Super Saiyan Blue form, making him vastly more powerful than he was before, actually able to keep up with the likes of Kaioken times 20 Goku, and even surpass that and fight beings such as God of Destruction Toppo. But what if Goku had this ki automatically? What if the evolutionary ki was something similar to like it's just his ki but it's more evolved? So his Super Saiyan forms are more powerful, his God forms are more powerful, and Goku himself is stronger because of the fact that his energy is more evolved than before. But what if we'll start with Bardock still sacrificing himself to fight Frieza? As true they would have scanned Goku's power level, it still would have been far too low. You could say that instead of Goku having a power level of around 2 to 5, it might be maybe 20. I still believe that Bardock would still know, either way, considering how strong Goku is, that Frieza was still going to show up and destroy planet Vegeta anyway. So Bardock either way would have known to send his son off the planet Earth to save his life, where Bardock would then fly up and sacrifice himself to go battle Frieza. Once Goku would then land on planet Earth, he would then meet Grandpa Gohan. Now Goku was still an infant at this time, so he would still fall and hit his head, thus becoming the goofy Goku that we all know and love. Now of course, as a few years would then pass, Grandpa Gohan would note that Goku's energy is a lot more powerful than he originally thought. It's almost surpassing him at this point, but of course Goku has no clue how to use it. Now, you could say that in terms of his power level, Goku had a power level of around 10 when he met Bulma, but I would say that maybe he has a power level of around 30 to 40, which is a lot more powerful considering the Dragon Ball scaling. But remember, this is Goku before he met Bulma. Once when he turned to a Great Ape, he would still destroy the whole area, and he would sadly kill Grandpa Gohan. Goku would then live on his own, until he would then meet Bulma a few years later. Now Goku has a power level now of around 40 to 50. His adventures would then go pretty similar, where they would still meet Master Roshi, where they would still give them the 3-star Dragon Ball, and the Flying Nimbus as well. And of course, this is for giving the turtle his water and bringing him back to the ocean. Now, Master Roshi would then note on how powerful Goku's energy is just for a young boy, but he would then offer to train him at a later time. This is when Goku would then stop the reign of the terrible Oolong, and this is when they're given the 6-star Dragon Ball. Now, also they would meet Yamcha and Puar as well, but now this is where some changes are going to occur. As once when Yamcha fights Goku for the first time, Goku was of course tired, well, more or less starved. He was very hungry, and when a Saiyan is very hungry, he starts to lose his power. But I feel like Goku, even though he's much more stronger than Yamcha, I feel like he would definitely be strong enough to be able to maybe hold him back and knock him down as well, but he would quickly fall out and pass out because he was so exhausted and hungry. This is when Yamcha and Puar would then secretly follow Goku and boot Bulma and Oolong on their quests, and now of course cutting forward a few weeks later, this is when they would find the 7-star Dragon Ball, as Master Roshi would use the Kamehameha for the first time to destroy the mountain. Now this is when Goku would then defeat the Boss Rabbit Gang, and this is when Emperor Pilaf would then come in. This is when Mai and Shu would then steal the Dragon Balls from Goku and the gang. Now Pilaf would then summon Shenron, and Oolong would still wish for the underworld just like before. Now, what's the difference here? Once when they were locked up, Goku would not need to look at the moon to turn into a Great Ape. Goku is much more stronger than he originally was, having a battle power around 50 to 60. He knows what Master Roshi did, so Goku can just mimic a Kamehameha wave and absolutely destroy the wall, easily escaping. Or he can use one of his own energy waves and destroy the wall either way, and escape just fine. After this occurrence would then happen, this is when Roshi would instantly want to train Goku. This is when Goku would then meet Krillin, and the two would become rivals, training together. But Goku was already becoming way more powerful than Krillin at this point, as Goku's power level would quickly jump, especially when mastering energy, and his strength and more is growing even higher. Because if you guys remember, when Vegeta used his transformation and his ki, everything skyrocketed even more, especially when he used emotions as well. But that's common amongst Saiyan, that when they get upset, their power level can spike as well. That's mainly looked at in Gohan. After this occurrence though, this is when, for the next 7 months, Goku and Krillin would begin their training. 7 months of training, Goku would quickly surpass Krillin. As remember, his power level is much more higher than originally started when they even started training, and on top of that, his potential is even higher because his ki output is way stronger. And as a whole, he's stronger in general. He's evolved. Master Roshi would then note on how quickly Goku was becoming way more powerful than even he was, as Goku by this point, his power level was shooting past Master Roshi's. Now of course, this is when they're going to increase the weight of the shells to continue training, and then this is when the Red Ribbon Army saga would begin. The difference with the Red Ribbon Army is the fact that Goku and Krillin are so much stronger than they were before. Now before we go into the Red Ribbon Army, of course there is the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Now this is when Master Roshi would then fight Goku as Jackie Chun, but Goku would not turn into a Great Ape, as Goku would have actually been able to defeat Master Roshi. Even though Master Roshi does have more skills and he has more knowledge of fighting, Goku was far too powerful at this point. Goku's power level currently is 200, which makes him a lot more powerful than Roshi is. Goku would have defeated Roshi, but he still would have spent all the winning money on eating all the food. Now this is when the Red Ribbon Army would then finally find most of the Dragon Balls, and during the search, they would then obtain the 6-star Dragon Ball, the 5-star Dragon Ball, and the 7-star Dragon Ball. Now Goku would have easily defeated Colonial Silver. Goku would then easily take down Muscle Tower with no issue. You have to remember that Goku is so much more powerful than he originally was, especially by Dragon Ball scaling. Also to note, his ki attacks are many times more powerful than they originally were. For instance, if Goku has a power level 200 in the original, if he fired a Kamehameha wave, it might go up to 250 or to maybe 300. This version of Goku, if he has a battle power of 200, if he fires a ki blast, it could go up to 600 to 1000. That's to just basically show you that Goku's ki power is so much stronger, and that makes his potential even higher than before, because now Goku's pushing himself to new heights. This is when Goku would then confront General Blue, and he would easily defeated him, and without the need of Aerial. Mercenary Tao would then show up, as he was still there to kill General Blue in the beginning, and this is when he would not defeat Goku. Considering the fact that Goku is so much more powerful, Mercenary Tao has no chance against this version of Goku being defeated. Now Goku, I feel, would still climb up Korin's tower, and this is when he began his training to take the Sacred Water from Korin. Now Korin would know how strong Goku is even without it, but I feel like he was still trained to be able to kind of fight in general, as Goku wants to strive for power and grow even stronger. Now, after 3 days of training, Goku would finally get the Sacred Water, boosting his power level even more. Now, Goku only took a small sample of it, as his bigger boost was when he fought Demon King Piccolo. But if he had a power level 200 with the 3 days of training plus the water, it would skyrocket his power level up to 300, making him a little bit more stronger than before. Now, this is when Goku would then do the Fortune Teller Baba Saga, to where he would then reunite with his dead grandfather. Now, we are going to cut forward to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. Goku would easily win, as Tien Shenhan has no chance against this version of Goku. But this is also where Demon King Piccolo would then make his appearance. As Krillin was still killed by Tambourine, King Piccolo would then appear. But he was very old and shriveled. He would then meet Yajirobe, and he would have easily killed Tambourine. Goku would then cross paths with Demon King Piccolo. But this is where the fight is going to take a turn, as Demon King Piccolo has a power level of around 200 to around 220, but when he was full health, he was around 260. Goku can easily fight Demon King Piccolo because his battle power is already 300 as is. This is when King Piccolo would not be able to use Dragon Balls, and Roshi and Chaozu are not killed. So, he did not also get his youth restored, so Demon King Piccolo would then knock out Goku. Goku would easily defeat Demon King Piccolo. As Demon King Piccolo has no chance against this version of Goku, he would have been defeated very quickly. Now, Yajirobe, I think, would have still offered Goku to continue training under Korin, but remember, they get the water out of necessity, but I feel like Goku would still want to continue training. So, after defeating Demon King Piccolo, he would have trained under Korin, drinking the water again, boosting his power level to up to 350. This is when Kami and Popo would then offer to train Goku for 3 years. Now, what about Piccolo Jr.? Well, I feel like even though Goku would have still defeated him, Demon King Piccolo knows he was defeated. He would then spit out the egg before he was destroyed, either by a Kamehameha wave or Goku punched through his body, just like before. And this is when Goku would then begin his training on Kami's lookout. Now, Kami would not need to destroy the moon because Goku never turned into a great ape and destroyed it. And would Kami also remove Goku's tail? I believe yes, because he knows that he turned into a Nuzaru, and if he does, he can't stop this version of Goku. Goku would have still lost his tail. Then this is when Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu would climb up to Korn's tower to continue their training. Now, the heading up is when the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament would soon be happening. After the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament would take place, Goku would still become engaged with Chi-Chi, because even though true Goku was way more powerful, he's still goofy in his lighthearted self, and his friends were delighted to see him. This is when he would meet Piccolo Jr., and this is when some changes are definitely going to occur. Because you have to throw in the factor too, the fact that Goku here is so much more powerful. What about Piccolo Jr.? Well, Piccolo Jr., even though he has a bigger goal, his power level will be roughly the same, because he doesn't sense how strong Goku's become. Well, how strong is Goku? Well, Kami notes on how strong his energy output is, and he would help him strive for that. With Goku actually being a little bit more powerful, he was actually able to last a little bit longer than Hyperbolic Time Chamber, but it was still very difficult. And with the help of Popo and the others, Goku was far more powerful. Goku in the original had a battle power of around 330 or so, but since he had a 350 before he even went training, Goku here has a battle power of around 600 to 800. With him having about, I was just going in the middle, and let's say 750. With him having a battle power of 750, he would have easily defeated Piccolo Jr. anyway. Having no chance against this version of Goku, Goku would still spare him because he knows that if he kills Piccolo, then Kami will die as well. After defeating Piccolo Jr., he would then run off, as Goku would then get engaged to Chi-Chi, as then 5 years would then pass. After the 5 years, the events of Dragon Ball Z would then take place, as, going way back, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz are deployed to purge the planet Shik, as then a few days later, this is when Raditz would then find out that Earth is near the coordinates, and he remembers that Raditz has his brother Goku there, so he's going to go pick him up to help. This is when Raditz then arrived on planet Earth. Now, this is when, in the beginning, how strong has Goku gotten over the next 5 years? Well, you have to keep in mind the fact that Goku said that, nah, he didn't really train too hard, he kept himself in shape, but he was kind of settled down a little bit. While Piccolo was working on new moves. Goku didn't really get a massive boost in power, but if Goku has a power level around 750, I'm gonna equal it out to around 1000. And with Piccolo Jr., his battle power was originally around 416. I'm gonna bump it up to around 600. Though he's still not as strong as Goku yet, but he is a lot more powerful than he originally was. When Raditz does meet them at Kami's house, this is when he tries taking Gohan. Goku would interrupt, but Raditz still has a battle power 500 stronger. Instead of one attack, it might take 3 to 4 that Goku was not expecting his speed, and it would have still knocked him down. This is when Raditz would then leave with Gohan, as Goku would have then gotten up recovering. Him and Piccolo would have then flown off to go battle Raditz. Once when battling Raditz, Goku would now take his weighted clothes off. As now that his weighted clothes are actually off, it does enhance his battle power to around 1100. Though he's still a little bit weaker than Raditz, Raditz's battle power around 1500, Goku was able to manage much better against Raditz than he originally did. As Piccolo does have an idea that maybe he can shoot a special beam cannon, but he wouldn't have time, but Goku would just fire a Kamehameha wave. Once when they're trading blows back and forth, Goku is not giving up, but he knows that Raditz is still stronger than him, but Goku would use his experience in martial arts to help him fight off Raditz. Raditz was shocked at how strong his brother was, but he notes that there are 2 other Saiyans that are much more stronger than he is, and if he does not somehow defeat them, then they're going to show up and kill them. Goku would then smirk, as then Goku would then begin charging up a Kamehameha wave. And we know originally, when Goku charged a Kamehameha up, he went from 400 to 900. Considering the fact that he has much more powerful energy being evolved, Goku's Kamehameha wave would then go from 1100 to 4 to 5000, which is a massive jump. Raditz will be shocked, and even Piccolo will be shocked how strong his energy was. Raditz knows that he needs to dodge it somehow. Goku would then do something as he would begin flying forward, using a Kamehameha wave from his feet to shoot him forward towards Raditz, and then he charged another one in his hand and hit Raditz right in the chest with it, blowing a hole right through Raditz. With Raditz now defeated on the floor, Vegeta and Nappa would have heard that Raditz would scream the energy has battle power 5000. That would make them interested to want to come to Earth and figure out what is going on, as that might be a fun challenge. And they found out that Raditz was killed. If Raditz was killed and he didn't say anything, Vegeta and Nappa would have honestly never showed up, because of the fact that they were not really cared for Raditz. This is when Goku would never die, so he would never go to King Kai's world. With Goku never going to King Kai's world, we are then going to cut forward to when he would then meet Bulma. As Raditz would then explain that they're on their way within a year's time, Goku has an idea. Goku would actually use his brain power this time and go meet Bulma and explain that, well, they can go train the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, but they can only do it so many times for plot reasons. But he would then explain to Bulma about the gravity, that maybe there's something that she can come up with to train. Bulma has a little bit of an idea, and her father mainly has the biggest one. They can make a gravity room that can change the Earth's gravity that can help them train. And Goku thinks that's a great idea, as he states that, but it will be around 6 to 7 months before they could even make one, which would only give them a few more months remaining. Fortunately, Goku understands, as he would then leave. Him and his friends would then begin training under Kami once again, but Kami knows that he already taught Goku everything, but he'll begin training Tien Shinhan, Chaozu, Yamcha, Yajirobe, everybody else. Goku never arrived at King Kai's planet, so they would then go into the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, where actually Goku and Piccolo will actually go in there together, as Piccolo does not actually need food to survive, only water. If that's the case, then Piccolo can stay in there no issue. In reality, Goku can eat the rest of the food himself. This is when I think we would definitely see a big change between Goku and Piccolo, as Piccolo would start warming up a little bit, as he would start to respect Goku. Especially since they're in there for a year, they would work past their differences, and after dealing with Goku's shenanigans, I feel like Piccolo would just accept him and respect him as a warrior. This is when Piccolo would definitely have a big change in his story arc, which is what we all need. Now, what about Gohan? Well, for the next few days and weeks, Gohan was actually still at Chi-Chi's, as Gohan was still kind of being studied into a bookworm. This is giving Chi-Chi full time to weaken her son to make him a useless character. After training, though, Goku and Piccolo are much more powerful. This is when I believe after 6 months, Goku would also take Gohan out to go train, and Piccolo would be there to push Gohan as well. This is when the gravity room was finally done. Now, Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo would all go to go train in the gravity room. Over the months of time, as they have a few months remaining, they would be able to push their power level up to 100 G's force, up to 100 times gravity, which is what Goku originally did on Planet Namek. Now, you could say it could be less because of the fact that Gohan and Piccolo, but if Goku trains solo as he has a goal to surpass, Goku will be able to push his battle power much more stronger than he originally did. Now, we know that when Goku trained on King Kai's world, he got around 18 times stronger. But considering the fact that he did gravity training plus the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, he's ultra prepared. And if Goku had a battle power of around 1,100, you can also throw in a Zenkai boost as well, so maybe 1,200, Goku, in my opinion, would get around 50 times stronger. This puts him at a battle power of 60,000. This already makes him a lot more powerful than Vegeta and Nappa are. The only difference is the Great Apes. This is when a big change is going to occur, is when once Vegeta and Nappa arrive, Goku's not late like he originally was. Since Goku's not late, everyone else is not killed. And this, of course, means Yamcha, Chaozu, Tien, Piccolo, they're not killed. This means that they would not have a reason to go hunt for the Dragon Balls as well. So this would greatly change some things. And this also means that Frieza would never know about the Dragon Balls. Because you have to understand that the only reason why they knew is because they talked about it. Or would they? The issue with Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta has no chance against this version of Goku. Their battle would ensue. Piccolo would easily be able to defeat Nappa on his own. But once when Vegeta and Nappa were then backed into a corner, this is when they would then throw the fake moon in the air and transform into Great Apes. With Nappa's battle power being around 40 to 50,000, Goku could handle that. Piccolo's power level is around 30,000 to around 40,000, so he could fight Nappa, and that's what he's doing. This is when Vegeta's the biggest problem. He is far stronger than Goku is. With his energy blast as well, it's not enough to defeat this version of Vegeta. He would then quickly start to overpower Goku, easily defeating him. Running out of options though, this is when Piccolo would be killed by Vegeta, as Piccolo would then see that Goku was about to be killed by Vegeta's massive energy blast, and this is when Piccolo would then jump in front of Goku and tank the entire blast. Piccolo would then fall over nearly dead, but he would then grab Goku's arm and state that the great Demon King Piccolo actually sacrificed himself for the same man that he was striving to kill. He would even look at Gohan and say that you two are the only friends that I've really ever had. And he would tell Goku to kill that bastard, as he would then give the rest of his power to Goku. But it was not enough, as true Goku was much more powerful. Vegeta and Nappa would still knock him around, as this is when Goku would then tell the rest of his friends to lend me their power. This is when the other Z Fighters would then give all of their power to Goku, increasing his strength even more, but it was not enough. This is when Kami would then use his help, as Kami would then connect the link to the rest of the world, as Goku would then ask everybody to please help him, as to raise their hand in the air and give them his power, not for a spirit bomb, make him stronger. The whole world would not really agree with him, as they think he's crazy, until Kami would then explain if you don't do it, the entire world will be destroyed. Now, of course, they would then listen because there's no Mr. Satan in this what-if scenario, currently. They would then transfer all their energy to Goku. This would then increase his power. Because you have to understand, even if a few 100,000, and if the humans only have a battle power of around 1, that's literally hundreds of thousands to billions, which would make him way stronger than Frieza if you actually think about it. This is when Goku would then have several 100,000 people give him energy, boosting his power to never before seen heights. He would easily fly right through Nappa and through Vegeta. Now, Vegeta was the only one that survived because he was basically bigger than Raditz. And on top of this too, is when Vegeta would then fall over as he was gravely wounded. With Vegeta now having a hole in his stomach, he would then crawl towards the spaceship. Would Goku kill Vegeta? No. Because Vegeta is the main character we need. Goku would spare Vegeta, but Nappa was already killed by the attack as he was far weaker and he wasn't able to survive the blunt of the Force. So Vegeta would then crawl back up into his space pod, and he would then tell him that you will regret sparing me. And he would then fly off, as Vegeta was on a literal lifeline, as he was like one step away from death. After healing up, he would then get a large Zenkai, but then Vegeta doesn't really know what to do since the fact that, well, Frieza would never go to Namek originally. Now, since that Frieza would never go to Namek, what would Frieza do? Well, word would quickly get around the fact that a Saiyan was actually able to overpower Vegeta even in his Great Ape state. Surprise Frieza, since he knows that the power level increases by tenfold, and he's stronger than Captain Ginyu? This kind of implies Frieza's interest. Frieza might want to take a little trip down to planet Earth to see what's going on. Now, Vegeta would overhear this, and he would also hear that since Vegeta failed, he would be killed. Vegeta has no choice. He would actually leave, going back to planet Earth. After a few short weeks, he would then arrive, being faster of course, and he also wasn't far away. Frieza's very far away. Vegeta would then arrive as the Z Fighters would then meet him. Goku was ready to fight him again, until Vegeta would then explain that he's not here to fight, he's here to warn them that Frieza was coming. He would then tell them who Frieza is, and the fact that they only have within a year and a half's time, or less, when Frieza shows up, and he is far stronger than you can even imagine. Since their course Namek was never destroyed, Elder Guru would still pass like before, but Dende would never become the new kind of guardian for the Dragon Balls. So once when Kami gets a little bit too old, but that'll be way later on, Piccolo would become the new guardian. Now, after this was done, this means that Zarbon was never killed, Dodoria was never killed, Goku would never unlock Super Saiyan over this time, and Krillin would never die like before. Now, over a year would pass, with Vegeta actually staying on Earth. This is when his relationship with Bulma would then flourish a little bit earlier than before, and I feel like they would still be together by the end of the year. This is when also all of them training in the gravity room, and then jumping in the hyperbolic time chamber again. Goku and Vegeta would then go in there by themselves to grow much more powerful. This is when their power levels are going to take a big turn, with Goku training for a year in gravity, and on top of the fact of the hyperbolic time chamber, his battle power will go up around 60,000. It will jump up to roughly around 6 million. Now, this is when Vegeta battle power will go from 18,000 with the near death Zenkai and the fact that he's training. His battle power will jump from 18,000. It will jump up to around 4 million, 4 to 5 million. Piccolo's battle power is similar, as since, well, Piccolo's gone like we did it before, training on King Kai's world, his battle power would then jump up from a very, very, very low, I would definitely say around 40,000, jumping it up to maybe around 300,000. Now, I know people are going to say, well, since Kami's gone, Piccolo's dead, what's going to happen? Because how are they going to bring him back? Well, that's the thing that we're going to get at very shortly, is Piccolo was given a life. What? Well, once when Piccolo would actually train with King Kai, he sacrificed himself so he was able to redeem himself. Now, they know that this time in this What If, for plot reasons, they're not going to go to Namek originally, as Bulma would never go to Kami's ship to find out about the Namekian language, to find out about the Dragon Balls. This is when King Kai would actually give his life force to Piccolo, giving him more chance, as he proved that Piccolo has redeemed himself and proven himself to be his best student, as Piccolo has learned Kaioken, and he was actually able to learn the Spirit Bomb. Even though Piccolo is a bit evil himself, he was able to be purified, and the Spirit Bomb was able to help him. But Piccolo would have a battle power of around 500,000 with the King Kai's training. Now, he would then be given a life, as he would be yelling in excitement. He would then finally return back to Earth, just in time to then teach the other Z fighters. Now, with him teaching, he would be able to teach Goku Kaioken the most, and Vegeta as well, but they're very inexperienced with it. Piccolo is actually able to use times 10, boosting his power level up to 3 million, and is able to use that pretty well. Goku and Vegeta both have just learned it before Frieza would arrive, so they're only able to use Kaioken times 2 to 3 at maximum, but they'll get better at it. Piccolo would then also teach Goku how to use the Spirit Bomb, as Goku was quickly able to learn how to use it, as it was a pretty easy attack in his mind, since he's more pure-hearted than Piccolo is. And this will come greatly in hand for when Frieza would then be showing up. Now, once when Frieza would then arrive, the first people who would show up first is his subordinates. Dodoria and Zarbon have no chance against these versions of the Z fighters, being easily defeated, and there was like waves of enemies coming in attacking them. They would easily be defeated. Once the Ginyu Force would arrive, Piccolo would actually be able to defeat all of them. We would then have a scene where they would then be swapping bodies, as Captain Ginyu would actually swap bodies with Piccolo, and injuring himself just like before. Now, this is when Goku or Vegeta would then beat Piccolo really badly, and this is when Captain Ginyu would then try to swap bodies with the likes of Goku or Vegeta. Piccolo would then throw a frog, a Earth-like frog. With Captain Ginyu then being hit, he would then revert to a frog, and you know how it goes. Piccolo would be able to get his body back, and Captain Ginyu is now a little frog. With Piccolo injured, they would give him a sensu bean, and he was fully recovered, and he would then thank them if that was a weird experience. As then, Frieza's main ship would then have arrived. As with the Ginyu Force defeated, Frieza's anger was swelling as his army was being dropped like flies. Frieza would then step out personally, as he was now going to handle this problem himself. After the 1.5 years of training, Goku and the others prepared for Frieza to arrive. When he arrived, they would first battle the Ginyu Force and Frieza's main henchmen just like before, defeating them pretty easily. Now once when Frieza would get out of his floating chair, he would be furious. As Frieza would not take chances this time, he would go into his final form, as he would not be holding back. As the first person to actually step up would be Vegeta. Vegeta actually thinks that he is a Super Saiyan. Having trained so hard, this Vegeta is now a lot more powerful than his original self. He would actually be able to hold his own a little better against Frieza. But unfortunately, when Frieza starts powering up more, he was kind of useless against Frieza, and he was easily overpowered. Vegeta, who before was fatally wounded, this was when Goku would then jump in, saving his life, hitting Frieza away, challenging him to a match. As the two would clash, trading blows back and forth, Goku having stronger Ki Blast does help him during his battle, but it was a losing end, because he was losing quickly because Goku was running out of options, because of the fact that Frieza is much more powerful. Now using 50% of his power, Goku was running out of options. He has another idea: take all the energy from his friends and run the planet to hit a full power Kamehameha wave. While Frieza beats him down, they would slowly start giving him their energy to Goku, which would boost his power much higher, as he charges a full power Kamehameha wave, appearing behind Frieza and hitting him full force, blowing everyone back by the massive blast. Goku would then land near his friends. His energy was completely depleted, as they would then help him up, as Frieza actually survived. Very similar to how he survived the Spirit Bomb, Frieza would then start taking no mercy. He would then shoot a death beam, hitting Piccolo, as he would then fall over. This is when Frieza would still do the same move, where he would grab Krillin, launching him into the air and making him explode, killing him. The original Goku would lose his mind. He would then snap out of anger, releasing the Super Saiyan of Legend.
Now for multipliers, it's a much higher. Since Vegeta with his new evolved form got 20 times stronger on top of his blue form, I'm going to do something similar. So this means 50 times 20. So this Super Saiyan form is a 1000 times boost, making Goku have a much bigger boost in Super Saiyan 2, and even being 2.5 times stronger than a Super Saiyan 3 boost. So, for instance, his power level will go from 6 million to 6 billion. As Frieza in anger would power up to 100%, his attacks didn't even phase Goku in the slightest. Goku would then give Frieza the Gohan treatment, as he would then punch right into Frieza's stomach and then make him explode. With Frieza now gone, Piccolo would actually survive the attack, keeping the Dragon Balls present. They were able to wish Krillin back to life. With peace finally restored, 1 year later, Trunks would then arrive from the original timeline. Goku about the androids and him having the heart virus. He would then give him the heart medicine, and for the next 3 years, the Z Fighters would continue to train harder than ever, grow stronger to fight these androids. 3 years later, after Goku was training with Gohan and Piccolo, this is when they would arrive to see Dr. Gero and Android 19. These androids are actually stronger than the original, not by a massive margin. Goku in Super Saiyan, having learned to control it, was easily able to overpower Android 19, actually defeating it. But before he could go attack Dr. Gero, his heart virus took over and he was out for commission. Now Piccolo would actually jump in and he would actually be able to battle Dr. Gero. And once Vegeta arrives, Gero was able to escape just in time. He was able to activate Androids 17 and 18, and this is when the androids would then turn on him, killing him. This is when they would also activate Android 16, and this is where some differences are going to occur. With them actually being stronger, would Vegeta and Piccolo be stronger as well? Yes, they are, but since the androids were still given the same treatment, Vegeta and the others would still have their arm broken and be sent away. Goku was their really only chance, as he was strong enough, but the heart virus took over. Now that the androids had their fun, they would then go travel around looking for clothes and go cause more damage, looking for Goku as their main mission. Cell would still arrive like before in the timeline, hunting down humans till he finds the two androids. With Goku at Roshi's home recovering, Piccolo would then go to Kami and fuses with him, becoming one. As Vegeta and Trunks would go into the time room like before, Piccolo being stronger than his original self, because remember, Goku was stronger and training partner, his battle with Android 17 would be very similar, both being nearly equal in power. Piccolo was actually able to hold his own until Cell would appear. With Piccolo being weak and tired, he would be defeated by Cell, who after a short fight with Android 16, he would then trick Android 17 to use a solar flare, blinding him and absorbing him, growing into second form Cell. Vegeta would then arrive, and he would then go into Ascended Super Saiyan, and his fight with Cell will be a little more equal, but Vegeta would still have the power difference and overpower second form Cell, making him desperate. This would then Cell, with arrogance, he would allow Cell to absorb Android 18, becoming Perfect Cell. Cell was then toying around with Vegeta the entire time, as he has no chance against this version. With Vegeta now being defeated, this was Trunks' chance to then go prove himself by knocking out Cell. But it was futile, as even though he went into his Ultra Ascended form, it didn't matter as he was too slow. And with lacking the speed, but he had the power, Cell was far too fast, beating Trunks, but it did pique his interest. So he would then host the Cell Games. The Z Fighters would then all train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, having a few days. Goku and Gohan would then go in. Goku would search for a power beyond that of his Super Saiyan form. He was very close to it, but during training, he would see Gohan turn Super Saiyan 2 for a moment, seeing that his son has incredible power within him. This was when the Cell Games would then begin. But of course, during that time, Goku was enjoying it, as he does not think that he actually needs training anymore, as he thinks that him and Gohan can handle Cell if they ever need to. Cell would still create the arena, as then Hercule would then go up and defeat Cell easily, but we know that Hercule needed to look good on camera, so afterwards Cell would then knock him out with a single attack. With Hercule sparing Cell and letting everyone else do the battle, this is when Goku would then jump up first. Now Goku going into Super Saiyan, he would actually start to overpower Cell. While true, this version of Cell absorbed a bit of a stronger android, it doesn't matter in the end, because Goku gets a 1000 times boost from his Super Saiyan form alone. Cell would have no chance against this version of Cell, as then Cell would then try punching Goku with everything that he had, even using his full power. Goku would easily be able to block these attacks, as he knows that he cannot spare Cell at all. Now, could have Goku defeated Cell beforehand for the Hyperlock Time Chamber? Yes, but it would have been a lot more of a closer battle. Goku just wanted to be 100% sure to make sure that there's no issues, and he also wanted to train his son Gohan. This is when he would deliver a massive gut punch to Cell, which would then make him spit out Android 18. Now, Goku would not make him suffer like how Gohan did. He knows to end him. He would then charge a full power Kamehameha. He would then hit Cell full force, killing the bio android, winning the fight very easily, which would shock everybody for how strong he actually was, but it's no surprise to us that this version of Cell had no chance against Goku's power. With peace brought to Earth, Goku never dies, so he never learned Super Saiyan 3. Also, this means that Goku would never learn about the fusion dance technique. This also means that there will be no Gotenks after 7 years of peace. Now, the World Tournament would happen just like before. Now, just to cut in that during these 7 years of peace, Goku still being around, he would be training Goten and Gohan normally. More Goten than Gohan. This would actually make Goten stronger than he was before, possibly making him actually stronger than Trunks, since Vegeta only recently trained with Trunks every now and again. Goku will be doing it since he's very young, and Gohan would not be as rusty as he originally was, because of the fact that Gohan still kept some training up, but he's not super rusty. So Gohan, again, with a little bit of training here and there, he's not able to lose his edge. This is when Gohan would still meet Videl, and Goten would still be going to go battle Trunks, where he would actually win. This is when, of course, Videl would still lose. And this is when Gohan would then showcase Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. As with Gohan's potential, I think he can definitely unlock it. Goku does have it, but you'll see why he doesn't need it. And Vegeta does have Super Saiyan 2 as well. This is when Gohan would have his energy stolen, just like the original. This is when Goku, Vegeta, Supreme Kai, and Gohan, the others would then fly off to go meet this Babidi and help them stop him. As if Majin Buu is revived, it's the end of the entire universe. A lot of the events would happen the exact same with Pui Pui and Yakon, with Vegeta easily defeating Pui Pui and Goku defeating Yakon, not much of an issue. Now, once when Babidi was actually getting nervous, he would then send out Deborah, and he would then also change the area and take over Vegeta's mind. Now, Vegeta would allow it to be taken over just like the original, as Vegeta still wants to defeat Kakarot, as true, he's had 7 years to fight him, but he was never able to defeat him in a match. So, once when Goku and Vegeta would then fly off to go have their legendary battle, both of them would begin trading blows back and forth. Goku in Super Saiyan was holding back. Even though Vegeta's gotten a little bit stronger, it was not enough to be able to defeat this version of Goku. But it was just enough, the fact that Gohan had just enough power fighting Deborah, he would be able to defeat him on his own, until when Majin Buu was still born. Now, once when Majin Buu was born, he would then easily overpower Gohan, just like the original, and supposedly kill him. This is when Gohan was then taken by the Supreme Kais. This is when Goku would stop fighting Vegeta, sensing that Buu was there, as he would still be tricked by Vegeta. As Goku would have his back turned to him, dropping his guard in base form, he would then search for a Senzu Bean, as Vegeta would then knock him out. As Vegeta knows what he needs to do, Vegeta would then fly off to go battle Majin Buu, to defeat this monster. Vegeta would then fly off, landing in front of Majin Buu. He would then declare that he's going to kill him. Now, this version of Majin Vegeta actually is a little bit stronger than he was before, because Vegeta has more of a training partner to go against, but not by a massive margin. Battling Majin Buu, Vegeta would quickly realizing that while Buu's just messing around, every attack that he throws at Buu, nothing is happening, as Majin Buu is far too powerful. Majin Buu being too strong, Vegeta is quickly running out of options, as everything that he's trying is not working. Vegeta now knows what he needs to do, as he was able to stop Buu and stun him for a moment. He would then say goodbye to Trunks and have his great speech, as Piccolo would then escape with Goten and Trunks, who were knocked out by Vegeta. Since that they were knocked out, Vegeta would then make his famous speech and sacrifice himself, blowing himself up to kill Majin Buu. With Majin Buu being supposedly defeated, Vegeta sadly would die in the process. Goku would then awaken, feeling what's happening. He would then go to fight Majin Buu, as remember before, to go get the Dragon Balls to wish everybody back, just like before. That would happen the exact same. He would then give Trunks time to go get the Dragon Radar, but he knows that he can defeat Majin Buu on his own. He can just feel it, as once when Goku goes to meet Babidi and Buu near the city, he would then transform into a Super Saiyan, and they were all surprised with how powerful he was. As Goku would easily overpower Majin Buu, but he doesn't sense any actual evil coming from the Majin. It just seems like he's like a bad child, doesn't know any better. He would then make Buu actually turn on Babidi and actually kill him, making Buu go peaceful mode for a little while, as Buu would then go off on his own, traveling around the planet. This is when Mr. Satan would then befriend Buu, him and Hercule would then become best friends. This is when the robber would still assassinate Buu, but he accidentally shot Mr. Satan and B the dog. This would make Buu snap, as Buu would still birth out Evil Buu. And with Evil Buu there, he would still overpower Majin Buu. Now this is where the one difference is going to occur. Goku can sense it and he's not there for 24 hours just like before. So Goku would actually be able to show up right when Super Buu was born. And Super Buu remembers Goku very vividly. He wants to have a rematch. This is when Goku would then burst into Super Saiyan, and he would then battle Super Buu. Goku would actually hold his own very well against Super Buu, but in terms of power scaling, he is a little bit weaker than Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks currently. As Goku would start to get overpowered by Buu, Goku would then power up into a Super Saiyan 2, thus turning the tide. What do you mean by this? Well, Super Saiyan 2 is twice the strength of Super Saiyan. So this makes Goku have a 2000 times boost, which would actually make him a little bit more powerful than he was before. So now Goku being an evolved Super Saiyan 2, he was much more stronger. Goku now being much more powerful, he would start to overpower Buu slowly in their fight, and he knows that he can sense that Buu is inside, but he doesn't know if he can get him in time. Because Goku was running out of energy quickly, Buu was perfectly fine. Now during this time, there's no Gotenks, so he would never battle, but I feel in the other world, this is when Vegeta would actually be met up by with Gohan, and the others, where Gohan would still finish his training under the Elder Kai. This is when he would then break the sword just like before, meeting Elder Kai for the first time. This is when he would start to have his potential unlocked. Now back on Earth, Goku was actually defeated, and Buu would then travel around Earth looking for a stronger opponent to fight. This is when Goku would then make something up, as he would then promise Buu, telling him that there's someone who's way more powerful than even he is. Someone that can give him a real fight. Buu would then take the bait, and this is when Goku then sort of try to be like the Piccolo in this scenario, trying to help him. And this is when they would continue on waiting, as Goku would then go inside the Heartball Time Chamber to actually train for a year. So Buu was actually becoming very impatient, just like we know. They were only able to stay in there for a few months, as Buu was getting very irritated. Piccolo was doing all that he can to actually stall Buu. Once when Piccolo goes inside, this is when him and Goku would actually battle Buu, as Piccolo would then blow up the door, locking everyone inside. With Buu being so furious, he would then scream so hard that he would actually open a rift and be able to escape and turn everybody else into chocolate and eat them. This is when Goku and Piccolo teaming up would actually be able to cause the rift as well, since Goku was comparable to Super Buu, especially having a few months of training on top of this. With Goku now being able to escape, he would then battle Super Buu even more, overpowering the Majin, until the Majin would then absorb Piccolo and the others, Goten and Trunks, thus increasing his power level a little bit higher. He would start to overpower Goku. Until Gohan would then arrive in his new mystic form. This is when I believe some changes are going to occur. Well, what about Vegeta? Well, in the original, Elder Kai gave Goku his life so he can go back on Earth. I feel like he would do the same for Vegeta, and he would also give him the earrings in case the plan really backfires. So Vegeta actually has the earrings on, as Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta would all team up, battling Buu. This will start to overpower Buu, as all three of them attacking him at the same time. Buu is starting to run out of options. This is when Buu would then make his daring plan, and he would absorb the strongest person there, Gohan. While true, Goku is actually very close and very comparable to Gohan, he's already tired from fighting Buu to begin with. So Buu takes the fresh one in Gohan. Gohan having dropped his guard, he would be absorbed, thus creating Buuhan just like the original. But of course there's no Gotenks, but it doesn't matter because this version of Buuhan is comparable to his original self, because Gohan is actually stronger than he originally was. Goku and Vegeta now have little to no options. They would then do the Potara fusion. Thus fusing into Vegito, he would then go into the evolved Super Saiyan form, thus getting a massive boost. Now, since Vegeta doesn't actually have this, I still think that it would be a little bit of a boost, maybe half of it. So instead of a 20 times boost to a Super Saiyan form, it's maybe a 10 times because Vegeta's not in there. But that's up for debate in the comments down below, but I still think he would have an evolved version of a Super Saiyan form. He would easily overpower Super Buu, but Vegeta's whole plan was to be absorbed on purpose. So the entire fight, he would be messing around with Buu, getting him irritated, really bothering him, as this is when Super Buu would then absorb Vegeta. But he used his ki barrier to deflect off the magic, but the magic would then wear off the earrings, but they were not absorbed. They would then travel through Buu's body, just like the original, and they would find all their friends tied up in these cocoons. This is when Goku and Vegeta would then rip the cocoons off, just like before, and Super Buu began fighting them, but Goku can actually fight them off pretty well this time. Vegeta would then tear off Majin Buu. Super Buu began screaming in agony, as he begged them not to, but it was too late, as he would then turn into Kid Buu. All of them successfully escaping Buu's body, Buu would begin to transform. After transforming, Buu would then become Kid Buu, the pure version of Majin Buu, the original. Buu would then scream very loudly as his power radiated throughout the entire planet. Goku and Vegeta kinda did a sigh of relief, as he's not as strong as he originally was, but he's still very powerful. This is when Kid Buu would then look at Goku, and he would then charge right in at Goku head first, as he blames that it's all Goku's fault since he's the one that he's fought the most. This is when Goku will begin battling Kid Buu, as in Super Saiyan 2 he can definitely fight Kid Buu without much of a problem, start to overpower him, but with Buu being so unorthodox, the fact that Kid Buu can fight so sporadically and he has incredible stamina, Goku knows he needs to kind of defeat this quickly. Goku did a bad habit to where he drags the fight on, but luckily Super Saiyan 2 is not a big drain like how Super Saiyan 3 was. During this time of fighting though, Hercule would actually still go in and try to fight Buu to help Goku out. This is when Kid Buu would actually spit out Majin Buu just like before. Now, if you guys remember, this is what originally happened when he tore him off. Buu disappeared, but he was still in his body. Kid Buu actually spit him out just like before, so yes, everyone was okay. Now, when we do throw in the factor of the fact that Goku's so much more powerful than Kid Buu anyway, when Majin Buu would not be able to jump in since they don't need to. Goku knows that he needs to end this quickly. He would then charge up a full power Kamehameha, and he would then hit Kid Buu full force, defeating him. Once when Kid Buu was defeated, they would then use the Dragon Balls to wish back anyone that was killed by Majin Buu, and peace was finally restored back to Earth. Now, during these 3 years to 4 year timeline, there was peace back on planet Earth, as Goku during this time was training like his per usual self. This is when Vegeta would then meet up with Goku, and they'll have their dream match. One match to prove it all. Vegeta has been training extra hard, and he learned of a new power. Once when they meet up in the Rocky Wasteland, this is when Vegeta would then showcase all of his training that he's been doing, and this is when Vegeta would then transform into a Super Saiyan 3. Once battling in Super Saiyan 3, Goku would be in Super Saiyan 2, but Vegeta was actually more powerful than him, or was he? Because Goku was holding back. Super Saiyan 3 was a great power that Goku didn't even know was possible. Vegeta never knew that Super Saiyan 3 had the terrible stamina issue what he learned from Goku, so Vegeta would strive to try and learn that power, as I believe that with Vegeta, he can accomplish anything. And this is the new power. Goku wonders if he can try and learn that, but he doesn't think he wants to, because while true it's a big power up, fortunately the stamina drain is terrible. Vegeta would then showcase a new power that he has, as he would then use Full Gallic Cannon. And this is when Vegeta would then throw the attack, which Goku would be able to dodge. This was a ruse, as then Vegeta would then showcase his final Shine attack, which would hit Goku full force, as he wasn't prepared for it. It would damage Goku pretty well, weakening him. The two would begin trading blows back and forth, being almost equal in power now since Goku got severely wounded. Goku would persevere, as Goku, in a burst of energy, would then shout Kaioken. For just a split second, he would use it to give him a boost that he needed to hit Vegeta and knock him to the ground, as Super Saiyan 3 ran out of juice. As he was not able to transform into it anymore, Goku was declared the winner. But it was a very intense fight, and Goku was barely able to win, but Vegeta earned his respect, as Vegeta would state that you are the best, you're number one. And he explains that you're better than me, Kakarot, you are the best. Now, far off on a distant planet, a certain cat was sleeping. He was dreaming about a Saiyan god, a being who can give him the fight that he's always imagined. And this being was no better than Lord Beerus. He awoke just like before, as he was dreaming of a reminiscent of a Super Saiyan God, a being that can give him the fight that he's been dreaming of. But we will get to that on the next one. And that is it for this one. If you guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I apologize that the video is not as long as the usual 30 minutes, but I'm super busy right now, and I unfortunately did not have time to add the extra few minutes for the script. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys do enjoy the video. Make sure to show me some support. The video will go back up to 30 minutes next time. Thank you all so much for the support. Make sure to like the video, get it 300 likes. Let's get 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.